like nothing else. Orissa sits at the confluence of the Chota Nagpur Plateau, and because of this reason, Orissa is immensely rich in natural heritage, biodiversity, amazing wildlife, rich history, culture, amazing visual arts, performing arts. We normally do not find all of this in one state. So, let me take you through my photography journey of the last 12, 13 years in Mangla Jodi and Bhitarkanika through my photographs. Mangla Jodi is the northeastern shore of Chilika Lake, and as many speakers before me spoke, Lord Jagannath is the blood, the life of we people of Orissa, and Chilika is the heart of Orissa. And in Chilika, which is more than 1100 square kilometers in area, there is a very small 60 square kilometer wetland, a marshland named Mangla Jodi, a tiny quaint village which is only 70 kilometers from Bhubaneswar. And it is one of the most magical places for birds in the entire world. In my 12, 13 years, I have never come across any such natural habitat where we can go right inside the habitat in country boats. We get immersed in the habitat. We go very close to the birds. We see the birds eye level. And that too in a country boat which doesn't make any noise, it doesn't make any vibration, it doesn't disturb the birds in any manner. So, before going to Mangla Jodi, a very quick and short 3-4 photographs about Chilika. Now that we call, or Panchami Madam has coined the magic of Mangla Jodi, which is also the name of our profitable book. So now starts the magic of Mangla Jodi. The Mangla Jodi is home to around 180 or 190 species of birds out of the 228 species of birds that are found in the entire Chilika ecosystem. Some of them are resident and some of them are migratory. The migration starts in the month of October and it gets completed by mid-December. So this is the arrival of the migratory birds. Now let us welcome our winged guests, the migrant birds which come to Mangla Jodi every year, make it their home for 4 months and go back happy to come again every year. And now the birds who have made Bangla Jodi their permanent home, the resident birds. And now the action that we witness in the marshland. Bangla Jodi, as I said earlier, is a very small, quaint village, and most of the people, the villagers of Bangla Jodi, they are dependent on fishing for their main source of livelihood. So while I was photographing the birds over there, I thought, why should I not also capture the village life, to portray the village, their daily activities, and thus this chapter. birds or birds in action, birds preying on the fish, frogs, and the non-venomous snakes or insects. I took it upon myself as a challenge to do some landscape photography in a place which is absolutely a flat land, no undulating topography. So I thought, why don't I do something different? Show the natural beauty of the scape. And initially it was very challenging, but as I spent more and more time over there, I could collect a few of the photographs which I will showcase before you. One interesting factor about Mangla Jodi is the Mangla Jodi buffalo or the Chilika buffalo. It is one of its kind, a very unique species of buffalo, the only one perhaps in the world which feeds on the vegetation growing in brackish water. And such is the amazing arrangement of nature where each one complements the other. When these buffaloes they enter into the water and they feed on the vegetation, they keep the vegetation under control. While walking in the waters, they churn the topsoil and the water so that small microorganisms, insects, or small fish are there just inside the mud. They come onto the surface for the birds to prey on them. And when they release their dung into the waters, that acts as a feed for fish and insects and kind of fertilizer for the vegetation also. This makes us understand that nature is self-sufficient. It's we humans who should stop everyone who has visited Mangalajuri would have witnessed the amazing play of light every morning and every late afternoon. And magic that unfolds because of this light, which I have somehow managed to capture in a few images, which I present to you now. Further, even further late in the afternoon, when the rays of the sun are amber orange gold in color, then at that point of time, the waters of Mangalajodi turn into liquid gold. And this is what this chapter is all about. Mangalajodi is all about birds, and birds means flight, flight, praying. So some of the images I tried with slow shutter speed. One day it happened that I was there and it was a winter, very foggy morning. The sun was hidden behind a thick blanket of fog, and I could not do photography in the wetlands. I just walked into the village, and something which was a disadvantage, it turned into a golden opportunity for me to capture the day to day life of the villagers. Apart from depending on fishing, the villagers also uh, do farming. They cultivate rice in the fields, and some of the images of the fields. Mangla Jodi is one of the most successful conservation stories of the entire world. At some point of time, the villagers, because of need for livelihood, they would poach the birds and sell them to hotels. It took effort by a few people of Mangla Jodi, Chilika Development Authority, Forest Department of Orissa, and the government of Orissa to convince the people to stop poaching birds, and they trained them as bird protectors, bird guides, and boatmen. They provided them boats. They created the necessary infrastructure over there so that tourists can come and see the magic of the place. And due to such interventions, the poaching has stopped completely long back, and the birds are returning in ever increasing numbers. There is a very harmonious coexistence between the people, the native people of Mangla Jodi, and the birds of the wetlands. And nobody disturbs the others. And they live in perfect harmony. The heading is like my mistake. It is wisdom tree. In the fields stands a lone tree, and we started calling it the wisdom tree because it gives us the wisdom to not interfere with the wildlife and natural habitats, to mitigate climate change, and to do everything for conservation of nature and wildlife, and spread this message to the coming generations so that we pass on earth into much safer hands. So this is the tree that we call the wisdom tree. Now I come to Bhitarkanika. It is a mangrove system on the eastern part of Orissa in the districts of Kendrapada and adjoining districts. It is mini Sundarban, a miniature of Amazon, and it's an amazing, wonderful habitat, teeming with different types of wildlife, animals, reptiles, birds, mammals. This is one of the greatest natural history moments of Orissa, which very few people know. There is a place called Habali Kati in Bhitarkanika National Park. On one side of Habali Kati is the sea, and on another side is the river. So, on the seaside, we see this beautiful natural phenomenon, bioluminescence. And we can never appreciate bioluminescence in Habali Kati by just looking at the pictures. Please believe my words. I have spent more than 35 nights in Havali Kati. It doesn't happen every day, but when it happens, it is out of the world experience. It feels as if somebody has put neon signs in the waves. No photograph can do justice with this natural phenomenon, and it happens right in our backyard. This is all about Bangla Jodi and Bhitarkanika, and see what nature and birds have done to me, to Avinash Chilika. I'm a very ordinary person. I started pursuing my passion of visiting natural habitats and doing some photography. And today, Government of Odisha, Forest Department of Odisha, Tourism Department of Odisha have given me such a wonderful platform to showcase the natural beauty of our state. And my heart filled with pride when I saw all the village organization people of Bangla coming and getting felicitated by our Honorable Deputy CM and our Honorable Forest Minister. One more clap for all those villagers, the people of Bangla. We are nothing without them. Whatever is being done is being done either by them or by the government. Thank you so much. I'm honored, I'm humbled.
You just said that you're honored and humbled, but we would also like to take this opportunity to honor you. So could I request Shri Vikas Ranjan Das, CCA Wildlife, to please join on stage and do the honors to felicitate Chilika ji. So a big round of applause. What a visual treat this was, and what a wonderful way to conclude, with a lovely message for the villagers. Thank you so much.
वाइट दी
A good friend of the department, as mentioned by Manojji. Thank you so much, Mr. Kinka. Thank you so much for the wonderful talk and the wonderful picture street that you gave us. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Mr. Zitiman Mukherjee, one of India's most respected nature, wildlife, and conservation photographers with a career spanning more than 2 decades. His work is internationally published, has appeared in major global platforms such as BBC Wildlife, National Geographic, the New York Times, Lonely Planet, WWF, The Telegraph, and The Guardian. An explorer and wanderer, he has combined his skills as a photographer with certified training also in advanced diving, ice diving, and mountaineering to document wildlife across diverse and challenging terrains. His interests range from rare and elusive species, such as western shadowbands, snow leopards, to polar wildlife, marine predators, and iconic birds, making his portfolio both rich and wide-ranging. He also contributes to conservation awareness by speaking to students, policymakers, and enthusiasts, and has been recognized with several commendations, including highly commended placements at the Wildlife Photographer of the Year Awards. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dhruthimana Mukherjee for you.
Good afternoon. I have disclaimer that the first thing we are running late, so I will be very fast. I have a little lot of things to show. And second disclaimer is for the people, because I have been here many times. Some of you have actually experienced my talks, so a lot of photos will be old photos. You have seen it. So some people will get bored with that. I can see some of you who have been in my talk. And the last important disclaimer is to say I'm not an expert, I'm a photographer. So I travel India and out of India, and I'm not an authority. I just share whatever I see, whatever I experience. It's only, it's from my perspective. You can find something is wrong and you're right, it is wrong. So it is all about my experience. And today, because it's a bird festival, so I curated this thing. I can tell it as that my experience with birds. So I'm not going to show a lot of, the birds photos, many bird photos. Rather, I'm going to tell some interesting stories which I have experienced with some of the species. And before that, I always love to share some point of view that why I do this wildlife photography, which I have been doing for last 25, 27 years actually. And uh, yeah, so I because it's like a always. It's good to share the purpose of whatever I'm doing. So initially, my journey started outdoor activities. I used to do climbing, and as usual, when I started photography, it was the life which attracted me. I thought, okay, I will have a great life in the field. I can be surprised every day, and I can see a lot of new things. So life was the whenever in beginning when we hear the word wildlife photography, it always excites us. So that was same thing happened, but slowly with the time I got a purpose. So it changed actually. So what happened when I found, okay, so I am having fun with photography. Also, I can contribute for science, I can contribute for conservation. So that came later. So if I say I'm a conservation photographer from the beginning, it's a lie. It actually it came much later, and I tried to use my photos for all these purposes. And how it was, I just want to share a quick glimpse of all these things and how you have some of you seen this set of images. This is from Lake Baikal. So when I say that how photography is the strongest medium to communicate with people, to connect nature, because photography has one biggest strength, it doesn't need a language. So anybody in the world can understand seeing the photo. That's what it is saying. Now if I ask you that think about tiger or think about the conservation of tiger, you can think something because you know about tiger. Now if I ask you, think about Narpa. I mean, anybody can feel anything? If I tell you Narpa is in bad shape, do you feel anything? Anybody? Any feeling? Because Narpa, for some of us who have not seen the Narpa, who have not, known about Narpa, it is just a sound. It is nothing. Now I'm just going to tell you what is Narpa. So Narpa is a seal. It's a freshwater seal found in Lake Baikal. So this is the only freshwater seal uh, which are found in the Lake Baikal in South Siberia in Russia. This is in winter. So I went to photograph this seal, and especially they are very shy because a lot of hunting used to happen. But I tried to. This is frozen Baikal Lake. This is a 1 meter thick ice. So my plan was to dive with this seal, and this is a baby seal. We cannot approach the adult seal; they are very shy, as I said. But baby seal, they can be approached because, like, this is 1 month old. This guy that we are the most dangerous animal on earth. So it allowed actually. So for some days, this baby actually allowed us to, approach closer. So this is the nest, how these seals enter into the lake. So this is a hole inside the frozen lake, and they enter like this. The baby entered into the lake, and we created a hole. That's me, and we cut the ice and entered from 20 meter away distance. And when we entered, we saw. So what you are seeing, this black thing, those are bubbles coming out from our cylinder. That is air stuck in the ice roof. So this is like what you are seeing the roof. From scuba cylinder, the air was coming and that was stuck in the roof. And how babies, every animal, babies are inquisitive, they are smart, and they learn a lot of things. So it was going out to breathe because they are mammals, they need to breathe outside. It was going outside, breathing, but when it found an available bubble, this is a bubble I said, air is available inside the ice roof, it started breathing from that bubble. So it was breathing from that air coming out from our cylinder stuck in the roof. And some kind of experience. Now, if I ask you what is Narpa, you have some kind of idea that Narpa is a seal and its babies rescued and they live in Siberia. So, with our short stories, at least we can connect about a lot of information about all this. Because we have so many animals, so nice baby. So this is a good connection. So, moment they feel that, they start thinking about that. So some kind of this kind of easily people get attracted. So then it's like a kind of emotional connection. Then we think of awareness. So I posted, this is a tarantula photograph in West Bengal. When I posted it in social media, people asked me that, "Arey, tarantula milta in India mein?" So a lot of people have no idea that tarantula, many species of tarantulas are found in India actually. And in West Bengal, in a rural area, in a village, so this tarantula, and a lot of people ask. So some kind of stories actually give some awareness about all these unloved, unattended world. So that is the strength of the photography that can give. I did some cave expedition in Meghalaya. It is like 500 feet down, completely dark. It's a problematic, fauna zone where I found this Pope's pig viper. So this is kind of scientific information also we get that Pope's pig viper surviving deep inside cave where actually the fish. I went for the fish which are blind fish. They never saw light. And in that environment, land reptile is surviving. This is a nice information. I found this Leptorotium frog. This is a new species. When I photographed later, I checked. This is a new species, not described yet. So because I got the photo and shared, all these hard to. We got to know some species is surviving there, and we have to describe it. This is from Orissa. Like one lycodon is eating over this golden geckos eggs. The golden geckos are eastern part endemic, and this is the scientific information. So photos can share it. I mean, it is easily it can be communicated. So that is the strength of the photos, where we get to know a lot of things like this spider eating a lizard. It's a very amazing thing. Now we don't get a chance to see always. Don't have any idea that spider can eat a lizard. So photo can communicate, can translate the stories, and so like emotional connection, awareness, scientific connection. Then also this, the issues around the negative issues. We have to communicate with the, especially for the policymakers or the people who are working in the space of conservation. They need to know what is happening around. So photos can come. This is from Havalikati actually, so where these stray dogs were, roaming around, and you can see that monitor lizard is doing a display to avoid the dog. So dog is a huge problem in all these, wilderness areas. So this is the way I just wanted to give an idea that how it works. So how I try to connect people with the different kind of stories. I'm entering the bird's world, my experience with bird. But as I said, that the goal was to connect, emotionally, scientifically, create in front of. But one thing which is actually the beginning, first thing, I'm telling you the last thing because that's a bird image. So I'm putting that image in the actual topic. That main thing, that what gives us, keep the journey is the knowledge we get from this natural world. So everything we learn something new, and that makes us, like alive and keep our quest on. So this I always show this image. This is a very interesting fact. It's looking boring, boring bird. It's a Vogelkopf bower bird. I spot photographing in Papua. But a very interesting thing was I was in height and I was trying to photograph this. Suddenly I felt some tree was like it was falling on me. Huge tree. So we just came out. What is happening? Nothing. Everything was silent. Then we are trying to find out what is happening. Then we are whispering. Then we heard the whispering sound outside. Then we discovered this small bird. It's like a minor sized bird. It was mimicking some sound of this falling tree to just make us afraid because of his nest. It was his nest. Such a small bird can create such a sound, and it was mimicking everything. Then I clicked the shutter. It was mimicking the shutter sound also. That is amazing. I mean, that is some kind of information or something for which we go in the field because we learn something new, and that is the source of our happiness, the new knowledge. So this is the main reason why we do this. Those others I developed, and I came with this, that when I go, I get to know a lot of new things and surprises. Now I'm just going to show you different stories. These are very old stories. I mean, sometime I forgot if I showed you. It's a 2008 story. It is in Dibu National Park when I was working on a book there. So I was trying to photograph these ducks, and they were all around in this Mahuri Bill. So I set up a hide inside the wetland, and birds were not coming. I was just getting no migratory birds were coming. Actually, so I was getting this coot and moor, and no migratory birds were coming. But I sat there for 14 days. But what I learned, every day I used to see that all these migratory ducks, they used to come on site at 3 o'clock every day. They used to land there and spend some time up to the. So what I did, I changed my plan. So that area I just put some water hyacinth on my body and sat for many days, and that worked. In that height, it was not working, but in this situation, I started getting nice ducks moment and very up close, and the experience was amazing because they were landing just close to over me. I can feel their sound, unknown sounds, which I cannot hear from far. They were very close, so it's like a very otherworldly sound. So that gives an intimate feel, like I am inside. I was blended with those ducks, and was getting a lot of interesting, experiences. And then I decided, okay, let's try some wide angle shot also. I was sitting with telelens, you can see I just kept a pot kind of a thing where I get another camera because my hand was in the water, so what to keep the camera. Then I was getting some wide angle shot also. It's a long back thing, but it is quite an experience and how we learn while taking photographs. This photo is of the buzzard. It actually killed a black-shouldered kite. You can see this is a wide-angle photo. But why I am showing this? The story is interesting. I can show. I could took this. I could took that. I took this photo with the habitat because of certain reason. You see, this is both are raptors actually. So it is the buzzard actually killed a black-shouldered kite. And because it killed a raptor, it took a lot of effort. Actually, it took 1 hour. So initially, I started with this telelens photo, and slowly I realized that buzzard was getting tired to kill the bird because it was also a raptor. It was a fight, and then trying hard, and it was so that if I did not approach the information would be missing. Because I approached, I got to know that it allowed me. Because of one is like I gave time, second definitely it was tired. And tired because of that thereafter. This wide angle image has a different story. So I am showing some wide angle image where I approach the bird very close. This is in North Sikkim in Gorudomal Lake. This is little owl. They are found in the high altitude. Early morning, actually it was wet with dewdrops. So that's why he was not very eager to fly. And that when I felt it, I just approached close, and it allowed me to take the photo with the habitat. This is in the backyard of Taj Mahal. It's a very old image. Jamuna. So I actually was trying to photograph some, pollution in Jamuna, but this ignite was so comfortable. I could, go close and got the photo with the Taj Mahal. But this is from Seychelles where I didn't do anything because the birds they were comfortable because there was no hunting, no conflict. They accept the people. So here I just went close, just like 6 inches, and took the bird. So the story is about the attitude of the human being there. So it is not about the bird, it is about the attitude of the people live there who have no threat. This is from Bharatpur. This is again one wide angle shot where also it allowed me to go close as I gave time. One daughter is fighting with a great egret. Different story for this rock squirrel in Puna grassland area. Again, I wanted to show the habitat and photograph with this was taken with a remote because they are small bird. They will not allow us. So this is like I gave the camera with the remote and I got this shot. And some situation wanted to show this is from Zoldova where you can see Mount Kanchenjunga, the third highest peak of India, and one open wheel. So open wheel are little comfortable with the humans, so I could show the wetland and the bird and the high altitude area. And this point angle has a different story because that dog, as I said, dog is a problem. It actually attacked this pelican, and pelican was wounded. That's why when I was taking photo and I felt something happened. So when I went close, I saw some wound. You can see the wing, right wing. It has some wound that happened due to the dog. So that this is another reason. Some interesting experience from Brahman. Something happened, some wounded bird. What I realized a bird is weak. They always attack the bird. When it's not so comfortable as it looked up, he actually caught the bird and ate. And the reverse when bird hunts, this is from Kaziranga where changeable hawking owl actually it's hunted that horrible squirrel in front of me and it got the squirrel actually. It's very fast. It actually I don't know how it got this very fast moving squirrel, but sometimes they miss. This is lagar falcon and it was trying to catch a spiny-tailed lizard. It almost did, but somehow it missed. So not every time they get the success. There's a different story of fighting. This is from Kaziranga where bank myna and the jungle myna. Jungle myna is dominating position. You can see the jungle myna holding the bank myna's beak. They were nesting in Kaziranga. So both took myna river inside a river in Kaziranga, and Jungle Moana dominates the world. They fight, they attack this bank miner. Just come to you see how the Jungle Moana is, attacking the bank miner. But come to Banga, in West Bengal, I was working where this blue-tailed beater was doing nest in the bank of Ganga. There, this bank miner are the dominant. So they actually occupied their nest, and so that was actually this. Blue-tailed beater nest, which was occupied by this bank miner, and they were, chasing them away and took all the nest of the blue-tailed beater. So different story. So one is king in one place, and another it becomes. It was loser in Kaziranga, it becomes king here. So nature has different stories and different interactions also. Here, you can see the miner how they're feeding on the over this female summer. So this is from Panna. I had some interesting experience with the Bengal florican. I was trying to photograph in. It is also a old image. I was trying to photograph in. It was a very interesting story. You know, the Bengal florican is very shy bird. Very difficult to photograph. Getting close is super difficult. So this was in Philippines. I was with a BNHS team where the three dominating male actually identified, where the plan was to put PTT over two birds and one left. So I was trying to photograph that one which was not planned to be put PTT, and I set up this height with the grass. And so I used to come through this grassland. It's a very interesting experience because I used to come, reach the height from the road, like a 500-meter walk. During 4 o'clock night, everywhere there was a tigress with 3 cubs. Believe it, now it's popular for tiger. So I used to walk and I used to hear these all alarm calls and I used to be alone, not using torch, not to disturb the bird. So that gives some kind of feeling. Very weird feeling. I used to sit in the, like in the height, waiting for the bird. Used to hear the alarm calls and all. When I used to come out of the height, I saw the paw marks of the tiger, expected places from where the call was coming. So it's some kind of experience which we actually live for. Anyway, so I was getting this kind of photos of Bengal florican, again far, not very close. So one day what happened, I was photographing this black francolin, and the male florican was little far. So when I was clicking that time it was, the SLR camera, we had a sound of the shutter, like, when for the display, they create the same sound. So when that male heard that shutter sound, another came. And it became very excited. The moment I noticed, I played my janja, the bass, and we had some, because to put the PTT, we had the other two, not this one. So we put this dummy bird, and next day I started, again I was in the morning, dummy bird was there, and I started clicking the false shutter. Within 5 minutes, the male arrived very close. And it was really, trust me, it's very difficult. I tried this bird to photograph very close. It's very difficult. But finally, I got some nice shot. But it has a continuation when I found one person in Arunachal, where this is a grassland in close to Roing. Diwang Valley, and this grassland has very good population of Bengal florican. And one guy, his name is Ipra Mekola, he was actually saving this, the grassland. So we planned to make a film on him to empower him so that he keeps continuing his good work. So we made a film. It released 2 months back, and he actually protecting the grassland. And one day we were very lucky. We went together and we found a female. Seeing female is very difficult. And then we saw this chick with the female Bengal florican that day, and got this chick also, which is a very rare thing. So that, it's like a 2 years back story. And we made this film, Friend of the Florican. You can check in YouTube or in Rounders. So it's all freely available. So that which started from the long back, so ends here with a nice story. We have different experience with, like, Sometimes we use parachute, paragliding to photograph vultures, or sometimes use paramotor to photograph this. So sometimes we flew over Brahmaputra, discovered some grassland where discovered some, the habitat of grass owl, and found that grass owl in that Brahmaputra grassland habitat. And I was lucky enough to see this. It was actually hunted a rodent. I was very lucky that day that I got to see this. Um, this is from Sundarban. With the flow and giving low tide, it drops down in the mud flat, and then birds started this golden plover. They eat over all these residual things. So that's how this ecosystem runs, and nutrient comes with the tide. This is during Yash, the Sojnekhali in Sojnekhali, the rain. There. So I went there to understand the storm, how it happens and how it affects. So I was there. The what was interesting and how it is related with birds. So it was all wrong things were happening, but the great thing I got a chance to see because of the storm. Sometimes all these, the birds what we don't get to see normally, they come with the storm. I mean, mistakenly they come with the. I got this brown nodule, got this short tail sheer water. It's not a good photo, but it's a good record that we saw during Yash. This is from Mexico. This is a very interesting thing where one Nachka booby is resting over a olive ridley sea turtle, and you can see the fishes are actually taking rest under the turtle, and the bird is also sitting over the turtle, and all are alive. I mean, no, nothing. The turtle is not a dead turtle; it's a live turtle, and it is very interesting. And this you can see. I mean, if something is floating in the ocean, you check under, you will find something resting. Even this sheer water was just roaming around, and one fish was under it, using as a shelter. So that's some kind of interesting. I went to Mexico for photographing this. This kind of sardine run in Mexico. It's not the South African one. I will show that also. So, and marlins, they attack these bait balls of this fish related with the bird. The question is how we get to know that this is happening under the water. So we are in a boat. Why to jump in the water to see this? So our birds were the messenger for this event. So all these frigate birds, they follow these bait balls. They can see from the top. They follow the bait balls, and we follow the frigate bird. And where frigate bird is like trying to hunt, we get in the water, and we get a chance to see all these natural phenomena where marlin attacking this fish. You can see the fish in its mouth, and this is the entire scenario. So from the top, the birds are coming. From the bottom, the marlins and the sea lions pushing the bait balls, and when they are pushing the bait balls, the fishes reaches the boundary. So that time, these frigate birds can pick the fish from the surface. So and drama happens over there also. They also fight. So it's a amazing phenomenon what we can see. And same, this is the biggest biomass migration. This is the actual sardine run which happens in South Africa. This is close to Durban, and here huge number of billions of sardines actually move, and all these predators they follow. So this is that. I mean, these are bottlenose dolphins. So they actually these are common dolphins. Those are bottlenose. So they actually feast on these sardines, and same thing happens here. Also, we follow the gannet. So here gannet actually follow the bait ball and they dive like this to hunt the bird, and then with them the dolphins come, whales comes, and the sharks. All the sharks come, and these gannets actually dive like a bullet, and you can see under the water, so they are hunting. I mean, it's a amazing phenomenon. You can see they bring the fish and fight. So we got a chance to just to show how fast. Sound. Sound. you can see the speed, how fast the planets were diving actually. So now this is Andamans, of course, one the land of endemics. So all the species we see, it's a very important place. I always try to show Andaman because that is one important habitat we have, which is really wild, and all the species found there are not nowhere in the world. So if we lose it, we planet. So it's very important. This is when we go about photos of all these birds with this world in South or Andaman woodpecker or Andaman crake. All birds are, this jungle flycatcher. This is from, it is endemic to Nicobar, even not even Andaman, the megapod. So all are endemic to the island, and that's why we need about it, that how we can protect the island as it is. And the interesting experience I had, so those are, I mean, a lot of endemic parts are there, other species are there. I'm not showing all the photos, but this is Narkundam. It was a very great experience I had again long back in 2013. This is the Narkundam Island, which is 6.8 square kilometer, and it's a volcano, and it has Narkundam hornbill, which is not found anywhere in the world, only in this island. So I got a chance to stay there for 18 days, and I was getting this kind of photos from the top, so I was not happy. So I wanted to take, the eye level, climbed the tree and made a station over this fig tree, because all these birds used to come here to feed on the fruit, and they started getting right angle images, which looks interesting, which actually connects us very intimate feel, gives us a good feel, and we can show how the position is. You can see the female and the sea outside, and all these fruits and all, the male and the female. So and there, and that was nesting time. So it was a feeding tree. Now in the nesting tree, I didn't want to climb the nesting tree because of disturbance. Definitely, it will be avoided. It should be avoided. So I fixed a rope in a, and it is a different tree, and the nest was in another tree. So I, climbed with the rope and got very interesting images. And so I was lucky enough to see all this behavior, how they feed fruits and the insects periodically, and and then issues. This is from Chennai, where almost so from Chennai, and you know. Uh, this is a nesting of wood, but the story is it was from Polycarnine marsh. As I said, we should talk about the issues, how we buried the marsh. The 60%, 70% of the marsh was buried, and all these buildings were made, and that's why there was no place to. We never kept place for the water to go reach the water table, groundwater tables. All the water, the runoff water reach the ocean. They don't reach the groundwater, and Chennai faced a huge drinking water problem because of that. So, like we concretize, because of beautification is such a wrong idea. We need to keep places, like where water can reach the soil. Sometimes we concretize the bottom of the pond, such a wrong decision. So once I saw the nest here, and then slowly the next year I went, this wetland was not there, and another building made, and they lost their home. So this is happening everywhere. In Calcutta also we are facing such problems. So we have to keep in our mind. It looks that a lot of money we are getting. Actually, we are losing a lot of money, because those money we can't actually measure, which comes in a non-tangible way, like the value of the presence of a wetland, the groundwater. We never calculated that value. If we calculate, then definitely we will find out that we are making actually loss, thinking we are making profit. Another issue, in Oran, where this is a culturally protected area in Rajasthan. I just went to visit this area where people live in harmony with the train, you can see, and the reserves are so close. But then one day there is, the plants came, and lots of wares around, and birds had no place to, fly, and they were dying in the, hitting the lines. And the Supreme Court gave an order to put all those lines underground, and nobody was doing it. Then I decided to do a film. We did a film, and after that film, actually, the work got modified. It's a tall eagle. So every day we used to see a lot of birds, even bustard, one Great Indian bustard died in that area. You can see how the maze of wire and who can fly here. No bird can fly here. And that film actually worked. We made the film on Moran. So two types of things. Not only the birds were dying, also we are destroying the culture. So India has only 5% protected area. Still we have so much of wildlife because of this cultural protection system. Outside protected area, people living with wildlife, they are there. The moment we practice this kind of activities where the deserts, about their plants, animals, they don't kill, they don't cut. The moment we give some money, they will buy a fortune or cost. So they lose their livelihood, and then we will lose our wildlife also. It's a both way, damaging things. So cultural protection system in India is a strong the strength we have. Nowhere in the world you can see it. And all the states in India, all islands, all possible areas, and this is really significant contribution biodiversity. So it is very important to save that culture. So that is why I try to. This is another issue. Like we think this grassland and plateaus, they are wasteland. They are not wasteland. They actually support different type of animal. Like sometimes we see this is a barren land and nothing is there. But if we take a closer look, uh, so here there is a nest. You can see here two eggs are there. So this is the eggs of Ashicraft parola. In some areas, like in plateaus, this say Amboli toad, Koina toad, they are endemic to the plateau. So if the plateau is not there, this species will not be surviving anywhere. So if we lose its habitat, we will lose all those animals. So because it looks barren, because of our ignorance, we think we can do any exploitation over this kind of lands. Can be the grassland. Grassland is another habitat with what we consider as wasteland. People are just walking, and their nest of this female bustard. You can see this is long 2008 photo from Manoj. Now, I mean that time I saw 16 bustard. Now only one or no bustard surviving. So I saw a wolf and bustard together, one frame. So that area has wolves and bustard, and because it's a grassland, it has lots of pressure. We have pressure in rivers also. This is from Chambal River. You can see how sand minings are happening. So we have to bring these issues. As I showed that these birds actually camouflage their this platin cause. Actually, this is in Mogorpasa in Maharashtra. So when I was it's a barren area and I was walking and the platin cause was charging. So when it charged, I realized something is there. Maybe it's nest and you see this. Here, one chick is there. You cannot see actually. So I have to also find out why it is here. Somewhere. So this dot. So chick is actually when it stays below it actually. And the entire barren land, we cannot see the chick. And we think that okay, the birds are there. If we drive a car or walk anything, the bird will fly away. But as long as we are not conscious, we cannot think of them. So that's why it is very important to aware of all these things so that our activities will not damage all this animal. In Northeast we have problems with this the bird hunting and all. I was working in Nagaland for a long time. In one home I was offered this mountain imperial pigeon as a delicacy. I mean, they do it innocently. But thing is, address this kind of issues, we have to be very, very logical, rational, and careful. This is their rational practice. I mean, they've been doing this for a long time. If we solve this problem, we have to address it different way because we are also doing this thing. We are killing all these wild caught fishes. We also hunt, but we feel we are innocent. We are doing right thing because culturally we are doing it for a long time. It gives us a feel that this is right and that is wrong. So both are wrong actually. So if we are going to address, we have to be very careful about how to handle it. Like someday somebody tells me to stop, eat fishing, eat fish, then how I take it? The same thing happens in the north. So it is possible, but we have to be very sensitive. So I always love to share that it is not that some people are doing wrong, we are also doing wrong, and it happens. And having said that, this bird hunting and this thing, these are Saturn Trust one, which I took long time to photograph this bird, like 4 or 5 years in Chilika National Park, long back. I spent 40 days, couldn't photograph, then went again, then I found these photos and I got both photos, I'm just showing you one. And part two, I went to Bhutan and I saw this. So this is again that cultural practice. When the people are good, people are like, people are, they don't hunt bird and they're good with animals. So animals also become like this. So I was so this is monk. I stayed with this monk for some days high in the mountain in Bhutan, and it is not only there in different monasteries I visit. This is a monal female, just comfortable around the monal male, comfortable around this the monk. This actually talks about the culture. So if we can continue the culture, we also can create that kind of environment where we can also share the space comfortably. And come back to India. As I said, this cultural progression system, look at this image, this story. I mean, it has nothing. I mean, the photography there is nothing, but you see these people who live in that barren Kutch area where they bring water from 70 kilometers. You can see the barrel. They're poor people. You can see where they stay. No rich people will stay there. No? They're poor people. They stay there. They are bringing water from 70 kilometers, food from 70 kilometers. They have no money. Still, they keep some food and water for the birds. That's our culture. That's our culture which we need to continue. And you can see a lot of places. There's stars and there's sunsplen, they nest, and the people are living their life. You can see the road and it's a wide angle shot. Those places are not very far. So we know how to live with this. Only thing we need to encourage that cultural system. This is the last thing. I love to actually there was a film, but we don't have time. I'm not going to show the film, short film. So this is a good I mean it's a positive story. So I just heard in Manipur that in one village called Jasabi, people actually showing the birds instead of killing the bird to the tourist. I heard that I mean it is 2024 in March. So I decided to do a story so that my plan is to inspire the people who are doing this so that they they stay in that plan. So I planned a film. But when I went there, this village, people were so amazing. I had a talk with the village council, and I just, after seeing the first day I saw the bird. First day I saw the huge pheasant, which I never saw before, and I proposed them that make it a conservation reserve. And in 1 hour they agreed to, convert it into the place into conservation reserve. And you can see these are huge pheasants, feathers and tail feathers, and you can see all these wild animal things. They used to use from the wild. This is huge feather, which is very rare, found in Northeast, and they are showing this bird. And the credit is because it's a practice culture. They used to hunt for their food. Now they stopped it, and I just motivated. But every pain was, it's taken by them. And this Jesami community reserve inaugurated in 2024, and I was lucky to be the part of this. This kind of story actually, can be example for other places where people can, the simple funda was if we kill the bird, we will get 1 kilo meat. If we keep the bird, we can have a power to buy 100 kilos of meat showing the bird. So that was the fundamental thing, and they understood, and it happened. And now the tourism is going on. Mohit is here. I request every operator in India, the same people getting lots of. Yeah, so that is all. So this film I'm not showing because it's a 17 minutes film and I'm not there. So thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukherjee. May I now invite on stage Mr. Vivek Kumar, DCF Joint Task Force, to please come on stage and do the honor. I request all of you to come to the center. Yes. Thank you so much. Well, that brings us to the end of the inaugural ceremony and the tech. But of course, the magic will continue over 3 days during the festival. So with that, I invite all of you to please join us for lunch and have a great day ahead after that. Thank you so
end stream বাতারে আছে